今日华尔街时刻，我是米邵宇超，现在位于华尔街纽约证交所，为您带来最前沿的财经资讯。在11月30日，欧佩克产油国和非欧佩克产油国将会举行年度会议。由于会议可能会就是否延长减产协议做出决定，所以市场各方面对此的关注度均很高。那么焦点主要集中在2点：一是此次会议是否会就延长减产协议达成一致；二是此次会议会否对当前的油价造成一个怎样的影响。那么同时，当下热点新闻也是在刚刚过去的周末，红黄蓝幼儿园虐童事件持续发酵，其股价的波动信息也受到了各界的关注。那么红黄蓝的承销商是摩根士丹利和瑞士信贷以及中金。目前摩根士丹利和瑞士信贷的分析师是一直在增持，而中金方面没有任何的表态。目前市面的流通非常的清淡，大约流通股有780万。那么在美国遇到类似的情况，市场会如何处理呢？我们来连线专家来给我们进一步的解读分析。OPEC meets on Thursday to discuss policy, and most analysts expect the deal to extend the cost. The Russians being quiet about their intentions about the OPEC deal is a little unsettling. So what's your view on the possible performance from the Russia side later on?
Yeah, I think the meeting's going to be a little bit disappointing to where crude oil was driven on Friday. I think that huge rally based off of sources familiar with the conversation saying that there was a deal between OPEC and Russia was premature. Russian Oil Minister Alexander Novak again was quoted as saying is that there's no reason to announce it now. The cut goes out through March of 2018. Why would we need to rush in and announce it? Even though Vladimir Putin said he is for it, I think this was all generated by OPEC. The sources are probably out of OPEC. So I think that the November 30th meeting is going to be a little bit of a sell the fact, and we saw a little bit of that today with WTI down over 1.25%.
Most analysts on Street do expect OPEC to keep output limits for another 6 or 9 months, but said this so widely focused that was the risk prices could fall after the OPEC meeting. Do you expect volatile prices as market participants share learns this week?
I do. I expect prices to fall because I think it's a done deal that OPEC is going to announce the intention to extend the cuts, but without Russia, it doesn't really matter. I mean, prices are probably back toward $55 if it's just OPEC. They're not going to get above 60 without Russia. So without Russia's involvement, without some sort of concrete comments out of Alex Novak and potentially even Vladimir Putin, we're probably going to see a sell-off after the meeting.
Bitcoin has surged to more than 8,000 this year, with rising trend line well and truly intact. Do you think that Bitcoin looks set to pass 10,000 today and may even extend the rally to 10,400 levels before December?
I do. I think we'll see 10,500 before the end of the year, so it'll be sometime in December. Look, the way that it's playing out, unless there's some sort of regulation or even legislation against the use of Bitcoin, the limited nature of Bitcoin, the popularity of it, we still have a very small percentage of investors who've gotten into Bitcoin. Coin wallets and cryptocurrency wallets and Coinbase accounts are increasing by thousands and thousands per day. And that's just more buyers of cryptocurrencies and specifically Bitcoin. So the computing power is starting to get very expensive to mine the coins. That just makes them that much more valuable. If the price falls off of that, that's a different story. But right now, Bitcoin is poised to do nothing but go up, although to me it is becoming a little bit of a bubble.
For good market, it has been ranging between the 1260 and 1290 over the last few weeks. Is it only a matter of time before the gold prices begin to fall back towards the lows of their range? And is it likely to happen over the short?
I don't know that I agree that it's only a matter of time that it's going to fall back towards the lows. We continue to see the dollar weaken, and that's what's driving gold price. So although we've stayed in that range, we've been tipping up toward the higher end of that range slowly but surely. So one geopolitical event and you spike back up to 1300, although it'll just be an expansion of the range. There's nothing that's really going to drive gold sustainably above 1300 or even 1350 unless we see a collapse of the US dollar or a serious geopolitical event. But in terms of gold returning to its lows, you have to see dollar strength, and we're not seeing any sign of that right now. Dollar index was up a little bit today, but it wasn't really a dramatic move. It was something that happened later in the day.
RYB Education, the China early childhood education provider whose shares plunged by over 38% in New York on Friday after reports of the child abuse, has fired a female teacher suspended of involvement at a branch in Beijing. So usually, how will this situation be dealt with in the U.S. market?
Well, the stock just won't be bought. I mean, there'll be nobody in there buying that stock until this is somewhat cleared up. At the end of the day, it's still going to be earnings. Unfortunately, it drives a stock like this. But if this ends up being a systematic problem to where there's a structural issue in terms of background checks or anything else that's going on, child abuse, a very serious charge, you won't see people going in and buying it. And then there's the social problem with it as well. There will be investors who will look at their own mutual funds and say, you own this particular stock, I'd like to redeem my money. They won't want that stock in. It's going to be down for quite a while.
RYB shareholders were not the only overseas owners of Chinese stocks rocked on Friday. Online lenders continue a recent plunge amid concerns about tougher government regulation of the industry. So what's your view on this point, and what's your trading perspectives on recent how Chinese IPO stocks?
But having said that, when you're looking at IPOs that rally to new highs when the overall market is going well, they're decent stocks to hold. But I'm looking for a pull, or rather a fall from the overall market sometime early to mid next year, so IPOs wouldn't be my favorite investment at this time.
好的，感谢您收看本期的金石华尔街时刻，我们下期再会。